Okay, we're here again, folks. We got a new project. We still got our Nestorbars. This is a 36-inch model that we're going to use today. Actually going to use an older one because this is a brand new one. We're on a house raise project where the house needed to be lifted. It's still post-Sandy storms. The houses down here are being lifted in New Jersey. They're going up in the air. They get moved away. They come back and get set on new pilings and new banding boards. It's called the banding boards. So one of the things we need to do in preparation is take out the old girders, take out the old sill plates in these locations, so when the house comes back down, it'll land on the new banding beams that we have here. Kind of like these banding beams are taking the place of a block foundation that you see in normal housing. So we've got girders here, sill plates here that are in the way, sill plates here. A big long girder in the middle of the house is also going to be taken out all the way down. And normally we can do our projects with just using the Nestorbar, but in this case here, there are times when you need to use other tools, and what we're going to use today is the Sawzall. But between the Sawzall and the Nestorbar, it's probably all we'll need. The girder's too long to take down in one piece, so we'll Sawzall down to something that we can handle and manage in a safe manner. We'll be with you in a second. So here we are ready to go. I've got my old Nestorbars, you see now. We've saw cut across the girder at this location here, and a couple of series down this long girder the length of the house. So I'm going to use the Nestorbar up at this end. I don't need to get up on a ladder. I can stay away from my work, and this beam girder here would fall down, but it's really nothing here to harm. Start from an extraction point here. See, that went quite well. Watch so. We're going to move down a little bit. Easily taken out 3 pieces of girder. The ends of these tails will come down. They'll end up falling on top of this new beam that we have in place. What actually needs to be done is there's a 3.5-inch power lamb in the center, similar to this one. Because of the house and the way that it was built, not sure if you can see from this angle, but these tails on the floor joist system are short of this double. So we needed to pack out this beam further on this side and further on that side to pick up this load point. So as we take out, by design, this load point here should have fell on the top of this beam, but it doesn't in this particular case. So we've added this structural members on this side here, which will pick up the double load on top of the double. We'll move down a little bit further and we'll take down a little bit more beam. Actually, what I'll do is I'm going to skip onto that side and take down some sill plate. So we're picking up on this side. I got myself on the other side of the beam. I'm going to go for this old sill plate that used to land on top of the block foundation. We no longer will need it. We need the floor joist system to land on top of this banding beam. I'm going to work the bar. I don't need to get up on a ladder. It's safe when you're not on a ladder. Strategically work it down. Time-consuming project. Take this board down a little at a time. Pretty much all there is to it. Nestorbar fits evenly over top of this 3.5-inch banding beam. We've designed it that way so it'll fit over top of a 4x4. So if you're taking up decking material and such, you can always get this in here. The crossbar acts as your fulcrum point, and you get lifting for any type of decking material that you might be bringing up. So we're moving to a different location on the house. It was just a minute ago that I took down that sill plate on the opposite side. There's additional sill plates that need to come off around the entire house. So I have the sill plate here on this end of the house, although it's not in the way of this beam because we've now created a cantilever situation for the joists. It does need to come off for the future work that we need to do. Alright, so we're moving to a different location on the house. It was just a minute ago that I took down that sill plate on the opposite side. There's additional sill plates that need to come off around the entire house. So I have the sill plate here on this end of the house, although it's not in the way of this beam because we've now created a cantilever situation for the joists. It does need to come off for the future work that we need to do. Alright, so I need to get a sweet spot. Once we get the sweet spot, so I'm going to try it here. Nothing's ever planned here with the Nestorbar. So we're gonna learn as we go. See what it's going to take. One of the things I don't need to do is I don't need to get up on a ladder. Ladders are the third leading cause of accidental death. If you stay off of ladders, not a bad thing. See, I'm making this tough job easy. Get out of the way, I want to be safer. Move around the corner. When I shoot that side, I probably can reverse the bar now, use it from this fashion, and simply just walk this board down. See? Here we go. Use the bar in this fashion now. Use the crossbar as a shovel handle. Make a little room. I don't have to change tools. I just change the angle that I'm using. Everybody's out of the way. Come back in here. And one. Pull that down safely. So there's another operation. See, we've got the 42-inch bars, the 36. This is the 36. Gave me just enough reach for my height. If you're a little shorter, you may need the 42-inch bar. And it just simplifies the task that needs to be accomplished. So as we save time, we're saving money, and you're becoming more efficient. So you can say one day in a week, you're saving 5% of your income for the month. And if you only save one day a month, which is 12 days in a year, you just added 5% increase to your bottom line. So we hope the Nestorbar is going to work as well for you as it does for us. Okay, so the Nestorbar is sometimes all about finding the sweet spot, so we're going to use this end of the handle, and we're going to use this end here as our shovel handle, so we can get some real leverage on this and some force. So once I get a sweet spot, I can pry it down and reverse the tool. Now that I got that gap, get a little bit more space. Slide down here, grab a fulcrum point right over that board, pull down there, you get a little release, work your way down safely, keep your eyes alert for anything that may fall down. We've got an additional connection here. May find that we need to cut that, but we're going to move along. Step out of the way. Okay, set the bar down and grab that. It's a safer matter. The sill plate out of the way, just a couple of minutes of time or less. All right, we got another header we're going to take out. Get these pipes. almost to a point where a 42-inch bar would be a good length. That's why we have various sizes. If you're in a 36-inch hallway, we have a 32-inch bar. It's a little difficult when you're popping trim and popping your doors off. So we got 32s, 36s, and 42s. Most of them have 8-inch rocker arms. We also have 12-inch rocker arms, which give us additional lift. This board's about ready to come down. Got everybody clear. This girder is released. Takes what's normally a 2-man job, become a 1-man job. Another thing the Nestorbar allows us to do is deconstruct our products from each other, such as 2x4s are released from the 1/2-inch sheathing on plywood. So instead of taking up 4 inches of cavity space in a dumpster where you're paying for a lot of air, as you deconstruct the parts, the 2x4 is then laid down to 1.5 inches with the 1/2-inch plywood on top of it. So you're only using up 2 inches of space instead of 4 inches of space. In 35 feet of wall, you can put more 2x4s on the flat under a 48-inch sheet of plywood. So when you do that, essentially in about 35 feet, when you deconstruct everything, you end up saving about 2 foot high by 4 foot by 8 foot tall. So you're saving 64 cubic feet of space in your dumpsters. Again, you're saving money. So the bar has other uses other than just saving time. We're saving space in dumpsters. It's easier to carry deconstructed materials. It's 1 man can carry it versus 2 men having to carry a 4x8 sheet of plywood that's got 2x4s and header products on it. Just another thing to keep in mind of why you might want to use the Nestorbar. Okay, so we're down to our last section of main girder that was in the house. I've got 3 sections left to do. One section here, another section at this location. We've put a cut here, so once this board comes down, we can release the cable line on this side so we can get the final piece down. There's a whole lot of wires. The main wiring system of the house was right in here at one point in time. It went through all those holes, so the electrician had to come in advance and back all the wires out of the panel and get them onto this side of the beam so this header could be released. And when the house goes back down, they're not crushed here in the middle. I'll go for these this last little bit of girder. That one there. We may have some nails behind here. I've got some nails back here that are giving us some resistance. Just shaking it gingerly. Bring it on the other side. And there we go. One piece left. Awkward position. on this piece of steel. It's going to be that last piece of girder. So folks, appreciate you checking in with us here, keeping in touch with Nestorbars. It's the newest tool in the market. We've only been around for 4 months right now, and we've got quite a few bars on for sale and that have been sold, and we're in some of your local stores. So check us out, or at nestorbars.com. How do you use your Nestor bar?